there, doesn't it make sense to build the refineries here in Alberta or Canada and employ Canadians? We've got a problem with unemployment. Why should we ship it to the United States so that they can employ their people when we have Canadians who need jobs? Fourthly, there's the environmental problem that always accompanies pipelines. Now, I don't know whether, I haven't studied the oil pipelines in Alberta that much, but I do a lot of environmental work. And I've studied the natural gas and the sour gas pipelines. And whenever you send a fluid, whether it's a gas or a liquid, through a pipeline, if that gas or liquid has impurities in it, it tends to corrode those pipelines every time there's a curve, either uphill, downhill, or around the bend in that pipeline. And eventually the pipeline is going to rupture. Now, okay, you say, oh, but you must expect that. The fact of the matter is, if you have a pipeline as long as the Keystone pipeline is going to be, they're not going to spend the money to have inspectors go out and have a look at every meter of that pipeline. It just won't happen because that will impact the top dollar. That will impact the profit line. And so inevitably, you're going to get ruptures in that pipeline and spills. And those spills, whether they're in Alberta, Montana, Nebraska, Texas, are going to get into the aquifer. And that will poison the groundwater for thousands and thousands of people throughout the United States Midwest and even in southern Alberta. Finally, the other reason I oppose this pipeline is simply the fact of what the United States does with its oil. Whether it's imported from overseas or whether it comes south from Canada, 50% at a minimum goes to fuel their war machine. It goes to drive destroyers, battleships, jet planes, personnel carriers, tanks, and to transport their military all over the planet. In effect, oil drives imperialism. I don't want Canada to be any part of what drives imperialism. I don't want to supply the fuel that runs their military. I'm a peacenik, and I think the best thing we can do for peace is to stop this pipeline. Woo!